Hello and happy Friday. Okay, we're waiting. Richard's got the stream going on his phone. I'm making sure everything sounds right. I turned the music down, but let me know in the chat if the music is still too loud. And we're waiting for his phone. There's a delay. For those of you who are new here or are not live streamers, you may not realize that what I'm saying you're going to hear about 15 or 20 seconds after I say it. So, is it turned up enough where we can hear it?
No.
Oh. I just want to hear the balance of the music to the microphone. Oh, that's good. Yeah? You can't hear the music at all, can you? Okay, I turned the music up a tiny bit. We'll see what happens. So I think you guys, if you've been here before, I'm sure a time or two you've heard me say that I've been working on getting Richard to be on a live stream with me. And I want to do a shout out to Jerry and Susan at Butler Family Farm because they do a live stream every Monday like at 5 p.m. Central Time. And they're both together. They just sit on their couch and they talk. You don't hear the music? Okay. Let me make sure I have it set to go out. Oh, that's why. Let's do... No, I don't want it monitor and output, though. Huh. I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to turn the music up a little bit more because Richard said he can't hear it at all. But again, we have to wait like 15 or 20 seconds. But back to what I was saying while we're waiting. I've been trying for a long time to get him to be on a stream with me. He was on a stream with me when we got monetized, like June or July of 2022, because we did prizes. We gave away prizes to celebrate our monetization. It just caught up with us, so now I know it's too loud. Just leave it up for a minute because I turned it down. Yes, but it takes like 15 or 20 seconds, which feels like a lot longer when you're waiting on something to happen. At least I remembered to turn the microphone on this time. Not too bad. I'm going to turn it down just a tiny bit. As I've always said, I'd rather it be a little too low than to be a little too high. So today we're just going to visit with you guys. I am still working on the video that I've been talking about for the last couple of live streams, but again, it's going to take a lot of editing. So in the meantime, I'm just filling it with some other things until I chip away at it and get that done. So Richard came home from work early to be on the stream with us. Are you afraid to be too close to the center of the camera?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So, what are you doing, Richard? What are you working on?
I'm working on doing this.
Like at work, what are you working on?
Just general things.
So he came home. He had to make a trip to the office one evening last week. You had to meet somebody up there to get all those, was it keys?
Oh, yeah. Keys.
He had to go and pick up a bunch of keys for a bunch of Cadillacs that needed to go where?
That were sold to dealers.
That were sold to dealers. He works for GM, if you don't know that. He's the general manager for the Southwest region for General Motors and had to go pick up a bunch of keys. I just pretend like I know what he's telling me sometimes when he's telling me what he does. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, he comes back and he's got this like a tote bag that I could tell must have weighed like 75 pounds. Is that accurate?
50.
50 pounds. 50 pounds of keys, of car keys, to go along with the vehicles that were going to be sold by some dealerships in the area. So that doesn't happen real often, but
No, not really.
I could tell he was struggling to get that thing. We have a baby gate that we keep over the front door between the wooden door and the screen storm door because I'm always worried that the dogs are going to just jump right through the little screen. You can lift a window and it's just a screen there that's not real secure. And so he was stepping over that baby gate with this big, heavy. It looked like it weighed more than 50 pounds. Like a bag of feed weighs 50 pounds.
It's 50
Okay,
pounds.
okay. Anyway, so are there like golf tournaments or things
No,
going on right
everything's
now?
done. Everything's
Okay,
done.
because it was pretty crazy for him a month or so ago because what all was I mean,
A couple events and a lot of Cadillacs and just a lot of cars.
okay, so he stays
He's very
busy with
busy.
that. Yeah, stays busy with that. I've been watching. Y'all know I watch this true crime stuff, so I've been watching the Lori Daybell, this latest Lori Daybell trial, and I'm just gonna say that I think it was Monday this week they did some pre-trial stuff, and she was sick. Oh, she was so sick. She had to be in a wheelchair, and she just really laid it on thick. And I realized, and the judge didn't buy it for 1 second. So he told her, "You're going to be in court." So I realized that maybe it's some kind of sickness, but it wasn't a physical sickness. I mean, we all know she's mentally ill. But this is the first trial where her victim is still alive to testify. So she's being tried for another attempted murder or conspiracy to commit murder on her niece's ex-husband. And he was going to be there for her to question. And I think she was just scared bleepless because none of the other victims are still alive. Like 4 or 5 other people that have died because of her. And she's been convicted of all of them. Outright murder for some of them and conspiracy to commit murder for at least one of them. And so I think that's what her deal was with this trial, is that it suddenly hit her that she has to face the person that she tried to kill, and I think it was really messing her up. So what do you know about Lori Vallow?
I don't know anything.
Nothing? Do you know that name, Lori Vallow Daybell? Or Chad Daybell?
A little bit, not very much.
What do you think you know about it, though? I mean, obviously you know now she's being tried again for
I
murder.
don't follow that.
So her husband, Chad Daybell, was recently sentenced to the death penalty for his role in all of this. Yeah, they're like this. They were members of the Church of Latter-day Saints. I don't think that in and of itself was the issue because they had their own little offshoot cult thing. They thought they were. It's wild. I'm sure you could find some articles if you're not really wanting to sit and watch a whole trial, but I'm anxious for this one to be done because she's going to be convicted. I don't think there's any way she's not going to be convicted. And she's representing herself. So those of you that have watched any of the high-profile trials on YouTube or wherever you can watch them, it doesn't usually go well, particularly for someone who's convicted of murder or attempted murder, to represent themselves. And what I feel like I've learned from it is that it's another indication of their mental problems, that it would make sense to them to represent themselves in a murder trial. Yeah, they're stupid.
Stupid.
They're stupid. But beyond stupid, I think there's something wrong. They're mentally ill. They can't make the same kind of connections that normal, healthy people make, or even sort of healthy people make. So, sometimes it seems like she's doing a really good job, but she's very much a grandstander and likes to put on a show and really, really, really pushes to incorporate all of this cult stuff into her questioning, and it's obvious that she still doesn't think she did anything wrong because the reason all these murders happened was either directly or indirectly related to these beliefs that she and Chad had about who they are because of this cult thing they were in. She thought her children were zombies.
Stupid.
So she killed her 3 children.
She's stupid.
Is that right? Well, she killed 2 children. Her son Oh, what's his name? Her son has a YouTube channel. I mean, it's Vallow. I think his last name's Vallow. But no, it's Ryan. Colby Ryan. She's been married like 5 times. And 3 or 4 of her husbands all died. Do that math. Anyway, so that's what I've been watching this week. I don't think it's going to be a long trial. I don't think any of her trials have been very long trials because it's pretty cut and dried and the evidence is pretty clear. But some of those things that I watch make me feel a little better about myself, feel a little bit more like a normal person, because you couldn't even make up some of this stuff that happens in some of these trials. Good boy, Loki. He's being quiet. That's a good boy. We have Loki here before. You guys may have said, he knows his name, that's for sure. Every time I say his name, he cocks his head and thinks he's going to get something. Don't be barking at Pappy, though. He's not real sure about Richard sometimes. He has a thing about men. So we have good weather here today. About 5 hours west of here. Lubbock's about 5 hours west.
Yeah.
Huge tornado in Morton, Texas yesterday. In fact, at one point there were twin tornadoes. I saw a video of this massive Morton tornado, and then, they panned over to the left, whichever direction that was, and there's another. Well, actually, the little tornado was on the right, little tornado. Then they pan over to the left, and you see this giant, massive, even miles and miles away, you could tell how big it was. So, glad that fizzled out before it made it here. But we've still, had the potential for bad weather every other day or so. And I know some of you have been right in the middle of some of the most dangerous stuff. So I hope wherever you are, you're doing well, and your property and animals and whatever is near and dear to you is okay after all of that. So I usually do start off with what I'm doing. I cut my hair on Tuesday this week. It's kind of fizzly right now, so I don't know if I just need to play with it now to figure out how to style it. But it just gets so... I have very fine hair, but it's ridiculously thick, and so it gets very heavy even when it's not long, and it just makes me even hotter when the temperature is hotter. So I just cut a bunch of layers all around so I could kind of thin it out. So now I'm in that weird phase where I can sort of get it up into a ponytail, but I have to use a headband because some of the layers are a little too short and they won't stay up in the ponytail. But I don't think it'll take long for it to all get to a length where I can get it all up in a ponytail. That's going on. I don't remember if last week I told you guys that Serena was going into diapers already or not, but Serena's got to be in diapers most of the time now. I'm trying to let her stay out of a diaper during the day because usually she stays, wherever I am, so I can kind of keep an eye on things. But at night, I put her in a diaper because she's just lost so much nerve function in her back end that she can't feel when she needs to go to the bathroom. And so she just lays there and sleeps right through it. So that's working pretty good. But she was kind of stressed earlier today. So she's been taking melatonin for what we think is sundowners, doggy dementia. And it kind of comes and goes, so I don't like to take everything every day or anything every day, and I don't want to have to give the dog something every day beyond their probiotics and prebiotics. But I think maybe she's struggling with that today. At times I feel like she can't hear very well because she'll be sitting looking one direction, and then as I'm walking past her, she gets startled when she realizes I'm beside her. I think I told y'all this last week. So maybe there aren't any new developments with her, but, and I guess it's good if it's just staying the same, if we can kind of maintain this for now. But what else? We're going to have a little fun with the wheel today. Let's do one of our wheel spins and see what we get. Oh, let's go here. Oh, I have a... that's what I meant to do first, was show y'all that little little thumbnail thing. So we're going to do some who's more likely. Richard and I will both be answering, and we'll see what we think with each other's answers. Let me get off of this screen. Let's do this. Thanks to those that are watching live. Thanks to those that will be part of the rewatch crew to see the stream once it's ended today. But we're going to spin the wheel. That's been a little while, and I just got some who's more likely to scenarios here, and then we'll see what we come up with for our answers. So, spin number 1. Did you turn it up to make sure we can still hear it? And that the music's still okay? Okay, so that's good. That's good. Richard and I will both be who's more likely to spoil the animals behind the other's back? Oh, what a great...
Kathy is.
Why do you think that?
I don't know.
What do you think it means to spoil them? Because I think it's him.
Yeah, it's me. It's me.
Like he's the treat dealer.
Yep.
You know? I just wonder, what does it mean by spoil? I feel like I'm like if it's good cop, bad cop, you're the good cop, I'm the bad cop when it comes to the dogs. Part of that might be that I'm around them so much more that a lot of times I'm just already desperate for a break by the time he gets home or he's spending time with them. Whereas he comes home and they're excited to see him and he's excited to see them, and let's come get a treat. Come sit down and get a treat, everybody. So I think
get them every day.
They don't get them every day. But
not even every other day.
I know, but it's still more than I give them.
Well,
So, like, I'm always worried that they need to lose weight. I don't want them to get overweight, especially, like Serena with her back end problems, arthritis and degenerative myelopathy and stuff. So, all right, we're going to take this off so we don't get it again, and let's see what we get next. Who's more likely to get lost even with GPS? That's probably me.
yeah, that's you.
I do well. And like if the sun is out, I can figure out, okay, that's west, looking at where the sun is and stuff. So,
Yeah.
and both of us are old enough to remember that before GPS, you had to unfold the big map in your car.
Yeah.
You had to, look before your trip to figure out, okay, we're going to drive here. This shows we're going to drive, get out use the little legend and measure it out. But if you've never been there before.
Then I'd look, yeah.
Yeah. But back in the day, you had to do that with a big paper map. You
Yeah.
could stop at the Texaco and get a big fold-out map that was like, 8 inches by 4 inches long, a real narrow thing. But then when you opened it up, it's like a poster.
Right.
It's like poster size. And then folding it back together was sometimes an adventure all its own. So yeah, I think I'm probably one. But a lot of times for me, that seems like, again, I'm going someplace I've never been before, and the map doesn't know that there's construction on a street or something, and so I have to take a detour, or that the building that used to have that old address, their address is not updated on the web to wherever their new address is. I feel like that kind of thing happens to me a lot, but this one is me. Now let's see. You want to do the wheel spinning?
Oh, you're good. You're fine.
I've had more practice at it. Okay, who's more likely to forget why they walked into a room?
Probably me.
Oh, I think it's me. Maybe that's equal, though.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it happens to me every day. In fact, what was it? I'm sure it's happened today, and I just don't remember.
Because you don't remember.
But yesterday, I was in the kitchen, and I was doing something, and then I went to my bedroom. So I went directly to my bedroom to get something. I got all the way in the bedroom, and then I thought, what did I come in here for?
So you need to take notes.
Or walk around with a recording thing.
Yeah.
So I walked back to the kitchen, and as I was walking back to the kitchen, then I thought, oh, that's what I was going to get. Now I wish I could remember what it was.
What was it?
That's what I said. I wish I could remember what it was. But see, that's it. I don't remember that either. So why would I remember what it was when I was trying to remember it? So maybe it's equal.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Who's more likely to... It's an iced coffee kind of day again, y'all. Who's more likely to rearrange furniture just because?
I don't know.
I would think it's you.
I haven't.
But neither one of us has rearranged any furniture
Right.
in so long.
No, we
Now,
don't
maybe it
remember.
is me.
Not really.
Because I know every now and then over the years, not since
Yeah,
we got this
yeah.
big sectional sofa, but I would angle the
Yeah.
couch, and then put a chair, bring a table in from another room.
Yeah.
So I don't
Well, we
know if
only
that...
have so much room.
Correct. We don't have a lot of options for...
Can't just move.
I mean, it's a
anything.
big living room, but we've just got a lot of furniture in it. So I don't know for sure.
About the same.
Yeah, that must be about the same. All right. Who's more likely to start a conspiracy theory
it's
for
not
fun?
me.
We know that one's me.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know that I would start a conspiracy theory, though. It's just who's more likely, though,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
who would do this for sure. But if it's just a who's more likely, then it would have to be
Yeah,
me because
yeah.
I'm so interested in conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine you even
Yeah. No, not so
considering
much.
that. All right. Hey, Loki. Who's more likely... No, we're not going to bark at Happy, no. Who's more likely to buy a tool and forget they already own one?
I wonder.
I
Probably
wonder.
me. Probably
There's
me.
been more than one discussion about that over the years. He'll see something, or we'll be out
But
somewhere.
I don't have to have an extra one.
But you don't even
No,
know where the other
so-
one is.
Yeah. That's funny.
But a lot of times he'll buy one and he comes home with it, and then I'll remind him, "You've got one in that
Yeah.
that's true. Tool bag out there in the garage or whatever." So yeah, so that's a Richard one for sure. Shh. Leave him alone. All right, who's more likely to? Oh, I think I'll let you answer this one too.
Probably you. Okay, we do it the same.
No, we don't.
All right, me. Whatever.
If I had a nickel, y'all, for every time I go someplace and all the lights are on,
Yeah.
and I'll even ask him, "Why did you turn the light on?" Like there'll be a big window and there's sunlight coming in, and I'll ask you, "Why did you turn the light
Because I
on?"
needed more light.
And that's what he says, "Because I needed more light."
Because I needed more light. And then I forget to turn it off.
And then he forgets to turn it off. That's the bigger problem.
So that goes back to who forgets what they went into a room for.
Yeah, maybe that's part of what it is. But that I'm going to give you that one.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
You can have that one. I always hear like a cash register running in my head when all the lights are running and thinking, "Oh, there's another $3 today for the electric bill." Who's more likely to guess the plot twist out loud? I think
Probably
it's
you.
you. I think I'm more likely to figure out what the twist is,
Yeah, maybe.
but maybe not say it.
I don't know. Last time I watched movies.
I mean, I watch stuff on Amazon Prime, but it's
not
just
like watching a
me.
movie.
It's up late, the dogs are sleeping, everybody's sleeping, it's quiet, and I can actually just do something uninterrupted for a little while. So I'll put a movie on. So why would I say it out loud if there's no one else awake?
Yeah.
I guess I'm just thinking that just to irk me, you would say it out loud. So that
Oh, I don't know.
I'm reading, so I'm still working on the book. I've been reading this same book for like the last six or 8 months. I like it. I just don't have a lot of time to sit and read uninterrupted. And if I read before I go to bed, I fall asleep, which is, I guess, part of why I like to read, because it's very relaxing. But there was just a scene in this book where this retired policewoman and her husband are having a discussion, and she asks him, what are you reading? Because he loves to read. And he tells her the name of this book, and she said, "What's it about?" And he says to her, No, I'm not going to let you do that again. I'm not going to let you tell me before I even get to what's happening what's happening, because she's a like a policewoman, or she was a detective or something.
Yeah.
Really good one. She says, no, just tell me what's happened so far. So he gives her some of the, events that have happened in the story he's reading so far, and she said, oh, it's the hospital administrator. And he said, no, it can't be, blah, 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 he did this, and he's trying to this, and she said, nope, it's him. Where did he work before he was at the hospital? She's asking questions like she's being a police officer. So he says, you know what? So he flips through the book and just goes toward the back of the book, last couple of pages, Sure enough, she's right. If the guy gets arrested or whatever, because it was him. But the way he says it in the book, you can tell she does that all the time. So this makes me think of that story I'm reading. I'm liking it. It's got some, wow. It's a crime kind of thing. Who's more likely to live off snacks and be fine with it? Look at you having to think about it. What do you think snacks means? I'll do my Jordan Peterson impression. What do you mean by snacks? So which one of us would be more likely to live off of that and be fine with it?
Well, probably me, because you're the salad eating, crouton crunching.
Oh, it makes it kind of easy, y'all, because he really could be fine just to go have some, chips and queso, or have a sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't really consider a sandwich a snack.
Oh,
At least so when I eat a sandwich, it's got lettuce and cheese and all kinds of stuff on it, so it's like a whole meal. So we'll take that off. So we'll give you that one too. Oh, we should have been keeping score. We could go back and watch the stream and see who had more. Who's more likely to hide a package delivery like a stealth ninja? It's probably me, because I order. Yeah, I order from Amazon a lot. I don't like shopping.
But you do it online.
But I shop online. I'm just saying, I don't like going out shopping. I don't like window shopping. I don't like going to the mall, or, every now and then Richard can drag me to Cabela's or someplace where there's some fun stuff to see, but it's not anything I would pick.
Yeah.
But when I need something, or I've seen something that I want, or something I want to use for a video, or then I don't have any problem ordering it from Amazon. I don't think I've had to order something and hide it.
No problem.
Like, you don't need to see necessarily when I get a new package of sports bras.
Yeah. No.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's probably me. Okay. Who's more likely to take forever to get ready?
It's probably you.
Why do you think that?
Because I'm always waiting on you. If I'm ready to go, you're in the bathroom.
So here's how it goes at our house. Richard will say, "Hey, you want to go up to the Mexican place, or do you want to go?
Yeah.
You want to go look at whatever? Maybe
Right.
there's something that you want to go to an estate sale, whatever."
Because I'm already dressed.
Because he's already dressed, but I've been here in my whatever I slept in. I'm still sitting here in whatever I slept in. I brush my teeth. The first thing I do every morning is brush my teeth, so that's done. But my hair's still plopped up on my head. So I'll say, oh, sure. So I get up and, make myself at least presentable and put some real clothes on. But then I come and I'm ready to go. And then he says, oh, wait, I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
And then we get ready to leave, and then he'll go, oh, wait a minute, I don't have my wallet.
Yeah,
So then he's got to go find his wallet.
Whatever.
So I don't think I take long. Like, I can do.
Okay, maybe.
I don't think it's I think it's just being out of sync. I don't think either one of us takes long to get ready.
Yeah.
But we're not getting ready at the same times. Like, you'll be ready, then I go get ready, but then you realize, oh, I better do this before we go. Oh, I need to do this before we go. So I'm not sure how to answer that question. We'll share that one.
Yeah.
We'll share that one. Okay, who's more likely to, I keep wishing it would land on that one, but it keeps passing. break something and try to fix it with duct tape?
Probably me. Or just throw it in the trash. So.
He does. You do try to fix it first with duct tape,
Yeah.
but some stuff can't be fixed with duct
Yeah.
tape, y'all. So, case in point, that that tall tripod you bought me for the camera. Do you remember that got broken? So you taped it, but it's not strong enough to hold the camera.
Right.
I don't even know why we haven't thrown it away yet.
Who knows? I didn't realize it was broken.
Yeah. Well, you're the one that happened.
When did that happen? I don't
Oh my God,
remember.
I don't know because
So.
we haven't even used that thing in like a year. It's just sitting right here behind the
Well,
desk.
then I guess we just need to throw it in the trash.
But he did try to tape it first. And as he was taping it, I was saying, I don't think that's going to work.
Well, we'll just throw it in the trash.
Oh, okay. I needs to get on a juicy one. Who's more likely to...
I'm gonna tell you.
let the dog sleep on their side of the bed?
You.
I don't even think you would want the dog in the bed.
I wouldn't. I don't let the dog sleep in the
But
bed.
the cats sleep on top of him.
Because they're tiny.
And he's really warm.
So.
So literally he can go to sleep and there'll just be a line of cats sleeping
Yeah.
sleeping
Sometimes.
down his body, and then one beside him and one at his
Sweat.
feet. And whereas the dogs like to get down by my feet.
Yeah.
Or when we have a dog visiting, so like Loki wants to be up by my head, which is fine, except that then when he wants something, you know, of course he wants to lick my face while
Yeah.
I'm sleeping. I don't really go for that. So it would be me. Maybe the key there was my side of the bed. It would still be me.
Yeah.
Who's more likely to burn dinner while multitasking?
That's probably you.
Well, I mean, I cook all the time.
Right. But it's multitasking.
But when was the last time I burned a dinner?
I don't know.
Because a lot of meals I do are multitasking. You know, if we're having even just, I'm trying to think of a simple meal, spaghetti. You know, so I make my own sauce.
If somebody was to burn a dinner, who would it be? It'd be you.
It would be me because
Right.
I'm the one that cooks the dinner.
Right, yeah.
That's true. Who's most likely to?
Yeah.
It would have to be me. Okay. Who's most likely to survive longer in the wilderness?
Probably
That's
me.
good. Probably Richard. I mean,
Probably
he's
me.
Marine Corps, so I'm sure he learned some things about survival that I don't even know.
I'd probably carry the things that you wouldn't carry. Because you wouldn't think about to get certain things.
Right. But I think as far as figuring out how to stay warm or,
Yeah.
you know, treat a cut or an injury or something,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's an interesting question.
Maybe we'll do that.
I don't know. I started to say, let's hope that never happens, but then I thought, wouldn't that be a fun video? What would we do with all the animals, though, so that we could go get lost in the wilderness for a little while for a video? But I think that's you. I'll give you that one, too. Who's most likely to talk to strangers in the grocery store?
Probably you.
Probably me. And I do, you know, often I'm passing someone and I'll smile and say hello or how are you or...
Depends on the mood.
But there's other places where I think you would be more likely to talk to people.
Yeah, it depends on where you're
So
at.
grocery store for
Yeah.
sure, I think it would be me.
It depends. Depends on where you're at and the mood you're in.
Yeah. And like what kind of people are there.
Yeah.
That's interesting to think about. But yeah, I think that's me. Who's most likely to cry at animated movies?
That'd be you, because I
Yeah.
don't watch anime movies.
Well, I don't think I can't even imagine you crying at a non-animated movie.
Who would cry at an anime?
Well, like I sometimes watch these short videos on YouTube or something and get all choked up. What one did I just watch even? Oh my gosh, I just watched it. Oh, what's his name? It's a baseball player. He was playing like in AAA leagues, and he got called up to go play for. Is Seattle a baseball team?
Yeah.
I think this is relatively recently. And so they're in a game, his AAA team, they're playing a game, and the coach, I guess he's fixing to go bad or whatever, and the coach goes to the dugout and says, you know, hey, no, we're pulling you from the game now. And the kid is like, I mean, he looks like he might be 20 years old. And the kid says, what? And he said, yeah, you've been called up. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that. How stupid is that? And so then get this, he goes and plays in his first major league game with Seattle, and I don't remember if it was his first time at bat for the game or whatever, and got like a walk-off. No, not a walk-off. He got an RBI that like won the game. So he got out. He hits a ball that wasn't really a bunt, but it was a little pooter ball, you know. And so as he's running to first base trying to get there, his teammate comes sliding into home and scored. And they won the game off of his little rickety hit. And I got all choked up watching that.
Why?
Just because I thought, I'm sure, you know, these kids that grow up and want to play a sport, right? So they really dedicate themselves to it, and they dream about it, and they wonder, am I really going to be able to make it? Is it ever going to happen? And then for it to happen like that, and then just all of a sudden, the phone rings, and then the coach goes and says, hey, you're getting called up, and you could just see that kid. You could just see him thinking, is this happening? I'm literally getting goosebumps talking about it. So it was I was just, I guess, imagining what that would feel like for him.
Yeah.
And then to go and play that well in his first game, just like fairy tale kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So for sure, if it was animate that story, and I'd just be a blubbering idiot. All right. Who's most likely... oh, this is going to be hard. To watch the same show 15 times. We have to share this one.
That's a tie.
So tell them what would be your show you would watch 15 times. Or list a couple of shows that you would watch 15 times. Or I could list a couple shows that I know you would watch 15 times. And then you can list a couple shows that you know I would watch 15 times. So Richard would watch the Andy Griffith Show 15,000 times.
Probably have, yeah.
Okay? Or Gomer Pyle.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else you would watch 15 times or more. But shows like that.
Yeah, older ones.
Older shows. And what would I watch 15 times?
X-Files. Crime shows.
We've both watched Midsummer Murders probably 15 times all the way through. Although I don't think you've seen the most recent season. So yeah, that's an equal one right there. But totally different kinds of shows that we would watch. Oh, like I Love Lucy's on the TV right now. Hey, Connie, thanks for being here. Okay, who's most likely to start a project and never finish it?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of the last time we started any kind of projects.
I don't remember.
Start a project and never finish it. I almost feel like it's me, only if we're talking about YouTube stuff, because I'll have like a video idea and I've got a lot of clips for it, and I'll talk about how, I'm going to be working on this video, I've got this idea, and, I slowly chip away, edit at it, but I don't know about never finish it. It sometimes feels like I'm never going to finish it. But, like we built a duck pen together. You built that addition to the workshop.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even think I helped you with that.
Yeah.
You finished that. You got all the cattle panels put around the paddock fence. So I don't know if this applies to either of us really. Or if something gets started and then it didn't get finished, it's because it was out of our hands. I'm going to take that off. Hey, Kristen, thanks for being here. Okay, who's more likely to lose their glasses while wearing them?
Well, I don't wear glasses.
I mean, it probably would be me, but I can't think of a reason why. So when I hear that, I think it means like this.
Yeah,
Like you'd be like this and go, "Where are my glasses?" I can't see well enough. I would not be walking around asking somebody, "Where are my glasses?" with my glasses right there, because I wouldn't be able to see well
Right.
enough. And I don't think I've ever done that. But because I wear glasses and you don't, obviously it would have to be
Right.
me. Or do some of these not have to be anybody?
Probably.
All right. Who's more likely, or who's most likely to cry during a commercial? It's not going to be you again. But if y'all haven't cried during a Budweiser
Who cries in a commercial?
Clydesdale, if you have not cried during a Budweiser Clydesdale commercial before, you either didn't see the commercial or you just, there's a switch that doesn't flip in your brain. And I think there's a couple of the Budweiser Clydesdale commercials that, there was a 9/11 one for one thing that was like, I don't even want to talk about it or I'm going to get all choked up.
Huh.
I think it maybe played at the Super Bowl or something after 9/11. You can look that up because I know that's on YouTube. I can't think of very many other commercials that I would cry at, but some of those Budweiser Clydesdale commercials, they're meant to trigger an emotional response like that, because then they want you to associate that. It's not like a sad, like hurting thing. It's just a sentimental. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
And so if you associate then that with the beer, then I guess it makes you feel like the company is real, like it's real people.
Yeah.
It's for real people. You feel something when you watch, so maybe you feel something when you drink it. I don't know. I'm sure there's some, again, deep psychological thing that's going on there. So that would be me. I don't cry a lot, but it sounds like it. It sounds like it today, doesn't it? Who is more likely to hoard takeout menus and plastic containers?
That'd be you.
That's me. Now, I don't know about takeout menus. I don't think I've
Man,
ever
yeah, well, I
saved a
wouldn't think of
takeout
menu.
menu.
That's stupid.
But I feel like I'm always desperate for Tupperware type stuff. Now, some of that started back when I started cooking for the dogs because I needed a lot of, certain size containers to be able to put their stuff in the freezer after I cooked it. And then just having leftovers, I don't want to have to put a portion, like one meal's worth of leftovers into a great big Tupperware thing.
Right.
So
Makes sense.
sometimes the little takeout things you get
Are nice.
from a restaurant are the right size because they're just meant for whatever your leftovers were at the restaurant. So I can say that right now I probably have a whole lot more. I probably have a whole lot more restaurant plastic containers in my cabinet that holds Tupperware and stuff than I have Tupperware and Rubbermaid stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
So, like, we love Torchy's Tacos, and relatively recently discovered that they have this tater tot side that's got, like, queso and bacon and jalapenos on it. And it comes in a great little round, nice quality plastic bowl. It's microwavable, and it's got a snap-on lid. I mean, it's great. It's great, and it's a perfect size for, taking leftovers to work for lunch or, storing dog food or whatever. It's a perfect size for that. So I've probably got like 6 of those in the cabinet right now. But it would be me. We'll do a couple more of these. All right, who's most likely to clean the house in a random order? Does it ever get cleaned in a not random order? Random order. I guess if I was going to clean house, it would be me. Because as I'm doing something,
the house.
yeah, but you'll usually, like, you start in the kitchen and you work your way around, like you'll get the vacuum cleaner out, or the broom out, or whatever, work his way around. But whereas I might be in the kitchen and I'm washing dishes, and maybe I reach under the kitchen sink to get more dish soap, and then I see the scrubbing bubbles or whatever, and then I'll think, oh yeah, I need to go clean the bathroom sink or whatever. Then I'm in the bathroom and I see something, you know, I don't know, see the mirror's dirty or whatever, and then I feel like one thing just leads to another, which didn't used to be. So back in the day when I was ridiculously AR about it, I would have a list. I literally would write a list, you know, unload the dishwasher, put a load of clothes in the washing machine, mop the bathroom, dust the entertainments. You know, I would have this list of everything, and I would like have to go down the list. It was like OCD. I would have to go down the list. And then I would feel really good when I could mark stuff off, and I would feel really good when I did the last thing on the list, but I don't know if that really answered that question or not. Who's most likely to overpack for a weekend trip? I know the answer to this one.
Probably you.
You.
Probably.
So, and the story I like to tell when I think about this kind of stuff. So I spent 3 weeks in the UK on tour. I had 1 suitcase.
That's good.
And, I mean, I had a carry-on bag. I had like a big tote, and I had this was before, you know, you could fly. You didn't have to take your shoes off and all that, so I could have my makeup in a makeup bag in my tote. And I think probably even my, my shampoo, all my toiletries and things. And then I've always flown with at least 1 change of clothes in my carry-on bag in case something happens and my luggage gets lost. Because I had to check my bag, 1 suitcase for 3 weeks, and that included my formal gown for when we sang, like at St. Patrick's Cathedral and stuff, when we did our formal stuff. And that was kind of it was a long dress, long sleeves, and 1 suitcase. Same thing. I think when I was in South America for 3 or 4 days, I only had a carry-on.
That's good. Then you wear the same clothes.
No, but if you know how to pack right, like I roll stuff, you can get a whole lot more in your suitcase if you roll it. And I don't worry like you do about if it's wrinkly. Richard worries a little more if stuff is wrinkly, and I don't, but because I would roll stuff, if it was wrinkly, typically all I would have to do is like hang it in the bathroom, and then I would take a shower, and there would be steam, and that kind of smooths out some of the wrinkles. So I think that's you. Hey, girl. Here's our old girl Serena now. Hey, girl. Maybe so. We'll do this last one here. Who's most likely to hog the remote? Why would someone hog the remote? What does that mean to hog the remote? But I don't think either one of us does that.
We don't.
I think if you pick up a remote, maybe you set it down someplace by where you're sitting, but I don't think either one of us does that. So I'm going to spend one more since that didn't apply to either one of us. Who's most likely to try to speak with a fake accent in another country? Most likely would probably be me. I don't know why I would do that.
I don't know why that's stupid.
Now, so if I'm someplace and I'm speaking another language, it's always been important to me that if I am speaking another language, especially I haven't been to France, but when I've spoken French in a Spanish-speaking country, I've talked to y'all about that before, I do appreciate language enough to speak it properly. And I'll thank my French teacher. I took 3 years of French in high school. And first day of class, I can remember her saying, if you're not willing to say the words the way they're supposed to be said, I don't want you in my class. And that was a real treat because we had a couple of like the big jock football player guys that I still wonder, why was Ronnie Hilton in French class? What has he ever done with French in his life? Love you, Ronnie Hilton, if you're watching. Pretty sure it was Ronnie. And I remember being so impressed. So this is Texas where we have drawls. And if you've ever watched King of the Hill and you hear Peggy speaking in Spanish, como está, she still sounds so Southern when she's speaking Spanish. And I remember being so impressed that even the guys that were in the class that had pretty thick Texas drawls did a great job saying the words right. But like I'll toot my own horn. There was a competition we used to do up at, it was called NTSU at the time, North Texas State University, and now it's called the University of North Texas. Yeah. And there was a big French competition that would happen up there every year, I think in the spring. And it was all kinds of stuff. So you could do poetry, you could sing, and I always won like first place for pronunciation and my accent. And I can just still remember how motivating that was. And these were people that, like, these were French people, or, people who spoke French fluently that were judging us, that would say such nice things to me afterward. How did you learn how to? And I thought, okay, I must be doing it right then. So,
That's good.
So if one of us was going to do this, it would be me. You want to do another one?
Sure.
You're not in agony?
Scream and lay it down.
You're not in agony being on the show with me today? Okay, who's most likely to claim they didn't feed the dog just to get more cuddles? What?
Well, that don't even make sense.
Who's most likely to claim they didn't feed the dog just to get more cuddles? What does that even
I
mean?
don't even know. It's silly.
Claim they didn't feed the dog just to get more cuddles.
Some of these are just silly.
I don't know what that means. Hey, Dancing Alone with Reynolds! Good to see you here. Let's see. How did you find French people in Texas? Do they allow that? Again, I think these were people that teach French in various places here that were judging. Stop that. Who's most likely to sing loudly and off key in the car?
Probably you.
I was gonna say it has to be you.
I don't
Richard
sing in the
doesn't
car.
sing.
I don't sing in the car.
But I don't sing off key. Why would I sing off key in the
I don't listen to a
car?
lot of music in the car, so
I don't either. We both listen to news radio. Well, I sometimes put it on the,
yeah.
what is that station?
NPR.
No, the music one, that whatever 102 point whatever. It's supposed to be like oldies now, but now oldies is like 90s. Even what was 98.7?
K-Love.
That's not the Christian station, was
No.
it? No. Okay. 98.7 K-Love. Okay. So they're still around 98.7, and that used to be oldies. So when I first started listening to 98.7, like back in the 70s or 80s, they played like 50s music, 50s and 60s music. Now again, they play like 80s and 90s and 2000s music. That's what's considered oldies now, because they're an oldies station. I don't sing off key,
Yeah.
so this one may not apply to either one of us either. It's good to see you too. Okay, who's most likely to ask for directions instead of figuring it out? Me.
Probably, yeah.
So this kind of ties into that whole GPS. Who's most
Yeah.
likely to get lost even with a GPS?
I just try to figure
But
it
I
out.
would stop and ask before I would just drive and wonder, I don't know, why haven't we come to that street yet? Or,
I'd probably just
yeah,
drive.
Richard would just keep going. So probably me. Who's most likely to have a secret junk drawer? A secret junk drawer.
I don't know.
What does it mean by secret, though? I don't think there's any junk drawers around here that we don't know about, even though we may not know what all's in it. And I guess, like, the bottom of that little nightstand in the bedroom is a junk drawer. I couldn't even tell you what's in it. And I don't know what's in the top little drawer of that thing beside the bed in the back bedroom. Most likely to have a secret junk. I think it would be me, though. Kind of like me saving all the takeout containers from the restaurants.
Maybe. Yeah.
Some of these just don't apply. But I didn't want to decide what applied and what didn't. I just thought I'll put them all on the wheel and we'll see what happens. All right, Dancing says, a lot of times the songs are out of key when I'm singing. It's the song, though. Who's most likely to laugh at their own joke? You.
Probably me.
You.
So, that's funny.
Good boy, Loki. I don't want to look at him or he'll start barking at Richard. Who's most likely to tell an embarrassing story by accident? How do you accidentally tell an embarrassing story? Dancing says, I have to turn up the radio real loud when I'm singing. It's hard to hear the song over all the howling dogs on the street. Hey, how are those kittens? Do you still have all those kittens? Who's most likely to tell an embarrassing story by accident?
Probably you.
Maybe so, just because I talk so much.
Yeah. You talk more.
But I don't. Oh, okay. So by accident, yeah. So maybe I would tell a story and not think about that it could be embarrassing.
Yeah, probably.
Because I don't feel like I get easily embarrassed. So
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't think that someone else would be embarrassed. What a strange question. Hey, Tiffany. Thanks for popping in. For anyone who's wondered, what's the rich part of RichKat? There it is. This is rich. That's rich. Who is most likely to secretly want to go viral on TikTok?
Probably you.
Well, you don't do the social media thing anyway. I don't have TikTok. I don't use TikTok. I don't look at TikTok. When I come across somebody's post, say on Facebook, where they've shared a TikTok thing and you would have to download TikTok to look at the TikTok thing, I don't download it. I don't look at it. So if they hadn't chosen TikTok, but I don't know about secretly wanting to go viral. Loki. Hush. Secretly want to go viral. I mean, but it would be me only because it has to do with social media. Let's see. Okay. He says, I judge kittens before most people have breakfast. Finding kitten homes is fairly straightforward. Oh, that's fun. Maybe we will just finish it. Who's most likely to go into a store for one thing and come out with 10?
Probably me.
That's definitely him.
Yeah.
I try to shop with a list if I have to be out someplace. Again, I don't like shopping. I do enjoy grocery shopping because usually if I'm grocery shopping, it's because I either have some meals planned or I'm going to make, bread or some kind of sweets or whatever. And so I enjoy then going to buy the stuff I need for it if I don't already have it. But I really try to stick to my list. It doesn't mean I don't sometimes then, see something on one aisle and think, oh, that's right, we need some of that. We don't have very much of that left. But man, Richard, like I've said sometimes, I'm not even going to tell you, because he usually will text me or call me as he's leaving work to ask if I need him to pick up something on the way home. And some days I'll think, oh, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you that I need lettuce because I'm afraid if he goes in the store, then he's going to come back with $30 worth of Oreos and Dr. Pepper.
Maybe $20.
Maybe $20. But beyond what I asked for, so I do think this one is you. All right. Who's most likely to be a sucker for an as seen on TV gadget?
Probably me if we were going to do it.
Probably you. And so, like Amazon, I'll use our Amazon account. Sometimes the stuff I see in the cart that you're saving to either think about or talk to me about, not that it was a scene on TV, but it's more of a gadgety thing. Yeah. My stuff in the cart tends to be turtle food, vacuum cleaner filters, really practical stuff that you use it up over time, and it seems like you're more interested in the new headlamp thing for when you go out early and it's not the sun's not up yet and stuff. So that's probably you. Who's most likely to buy something online and forget about it?
Well, I don't buy nothing online really.
But it still kind of ties in with the earlier one about who's most likely to buy a tool and forget they already have one.
Maybe, yeah.
Because that may be where some of the tools you forgot you had come from. Because maybe you bought it online, or you told me you needed it and I bought it online, and then you put it someplace where you don't remember and you go buy another one.
Yeah.
So maybe. Who's most likely to say, I'm not buying anything, and leave with a cart full?
Probably both of us.
He's afraid to say he's afraid to say it's him again.
You know it'd be me, so. You know it'd be me.
So we love to go estate sailing, and there are times when, like, he'll want to go to an estate sale, and usually you have to have cash. Most of them want cash, unless you're buying big ticket items, because they have to pay that merchant fee on debit and credit card transactions. And so we'll go sometimes without any cash, which to me is kind of an unspoken, we're not planning on buying anything.
Yeah.
Dadgummit.
Yeah.
So I'm on the lookout for a stand mixer. I can tell you all that right now. Next time we go estate sailing, I've got all my cake servers that I collected over years and years of estate sailing. And the next thing I want is a stand mixer. So if we go, we'll have to have cash. I think this is you. Who's most likely to talk to pets like they're humans?
Probably
That's both of us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an everyday, all day long thing. And I am thoroughly convinced that even if they don't understand words specifically, they know what we're saying. So they know if we're happy about whatever they're doing. They know when we're not happy about what they're doing. They know when we're excited about something. I'm trying to think of examples of times, though, when I've said something. So sometimes, I can tell a dog or dogs are getting on each other's nerves. And I'll say something to, like, Boone and say, are they driving you crazy as much as they're driving me crazy? And he looks at me like he knows what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think this is both of us for sure. And if you don't have animals and they haven't... So the cats are a great example, because the cats will meow, and we'll both say, what? What is it? What do you need? What are you telling me? Let's see. One of those big giant silver mixers or a KitchenAid. Like a KitchenAid countertop it for sure needs to have a dough hook on it. It for sure needs a dough hook on it. That's like the biggest thing I've got to find is a stand mixer, a kitchen counter stand mixer with a dough hook on it.
Yeah.
Because I want to make conchas, and there's just too much mixing, I think, for me to be able to manage it with my little hand mixer. Who's most likely to fall asleep during a movie?
That would be me.
Yeah, this one.
Movie, TV show, whatever.
Dinner, whatever.
Yeah.
In his defense, so he goes to bed really early. For me, it seems early because y'all know I'm a night owl. He goes to bed really early, but that's because he gets up at like 4:30 in the morning. So it makes sense. We both still get the same amount of sleep because I'm able to sleep until 7:30 or 8:30 if I'm really lucky. But yeah, that would be Richard. I can't believe that Be Abducted one hasn't come up because I think I know what it says.
Probably by an alien.
Yeah. Who's most likely to be the life of the party? Believe it or not, it's him. Because we go, if we are at some sort of party, which to me a party just means a get together of, friends or family or neighbors or whatever. Boy, he doesn't seem like he talks a lot right now, right? Man,
Whatever.
he can't stop if we're in that kind of a
Whatever.
setting. So I think it's you. Okay, hang on. Dancing says, I have that mixer sitting on the floor here. A certain somebody chewed the cord. I'm not naming names. But I'm sure it's not your name, right? Who's most likely to spend 30 minutes reading reviews for a $10 item? This is
Probably you.
one we looked at when I was first getting these all set up. That's me. Again, this is kind of tied into when I talked about leaving lights on everywhere, and in my head I like hear a cash register ringing. Oh, there's another $3 on the
Yeah.
electric bill today because of all the lights that were on. It's partly that. So I'll study up on whatever this thing is I want to order, because even though it may only be a $10 item, I want to get one that it's not going to fall apart the first time I use it or just not work at all. And so I do research and read reviews even when it's what you would call a cheap item. Who's most likely to complain about the hotel pillows?
I don't know.
I mean, I think it's you.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, probably.
We don't travel much. I mean, I probably have complained about a hotel pillow at some point too, but I still think it would probably be you more.
Mm-hmm.
Who's most likely? Here we go. Oh, to be abducted by aliens and not even notice. Yes, that would be me. Yes, I still wonder why they don't come get me. I would love to take a trip. I would love to be chosen. Not even notice, though. What does that mean? Not even care. Who's most likely to talk their way out of a speeding ticket? That is you.
Well, yeah, I mean, if I can.
He can be a schmoozer if he needs to be. And I think, he was a policeman in another life. So I think maybe there's this like I don't know, lingo. I don't know. I feel like there's this connection somewhere. I don't think I would try to talk myself out of it. I would just apologize and say the reason why I was doing it. Who's most likely to give someone a weird nickname that sticks? I think that's you.
Who am I going to give a weird nickname?
I don't know, but I just feel like you would come up
Oh,
with a weird
maybe,
nickname more often than I might.
Probably.
And for it to stick. So it's
Yeah.
something to be that really is so descriptive of that person or
Maybe.
connected to that person that it would make sense and it would be fun and everybody would think, oh yeah, that's a perfect
Yeah.
nickname for that person. All right, we're getting ready to close it out. Who's most likely to make up a silly song for the dog?
Probably you.
So the reason I agree, even though I've heard you like sing, like make up, you'd be singing some weird song, not necessarily for the dog, but about something that's happening. But if you haven't seen my foster puppy song video, check that out, because I did different lyrics for favorite things from The Sound of Music for our foster puppies at the time, Rowan and Banyan, and I think it turned out super cute. It was kind of silly. So yeah, it'd probably be me, but again, I'm thinking of times when I've heard you, something's happened saying, who chewed the Tupperware lid? Who chewed the Tupperware lid? Like you do something like that, and you're just singing about something that's happened, and that only leaves who's most likely to. I wonder why it even has to spin on the last one. Take photos of everything. I think that's you.
Oh, yeah,
So even though I'm always videoing, because I always want to have material that I can use for YouTube videos, he is always taking pictures. So he'll be sitting outside with the dogs or something, and I'm in the house watching a show or playing my game on my phone or whatever, and then he texts me these pictures that he's taking of the dogs or of a squirrel in a tree. Or I feel like you take pictures a lot. I think when we did last go on vacation, you took more pictures than I did.
Probably.
So I think that one is you. You get that one. We should have been keeping score. Okay, I hope y'all had fun for the first show. I don't even count that show when you came on when we were doing the giveaways, because we didn't really talk a lot. We just were spinning the wheel and giving prizes away. And again, make a note, when we hit 3,000 subscribers, which was the plan all along, we will do another giveaway stream. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors, share the channel, and be watching for us to cross that 3,000 subscribers mark. We were at 2,918 when I looked earlier today. I'm kind of tickled that the short that I put out yesterday did as well as it did, because I didn't think it would do very well. And it's so funny to me sometimes that the shorter the short, it almost seems like it does better.
Probably.
So an 11-second short performs better a lot of times for me than like a 17-second short, which isn't that, what does that say about the world we live in?
People don't have time to watch
That,
it.
yeah, that there's so little time that people will react and connect and respond more to just these little clips of things. I guess that's why, because it's quick, you get to the point, the whole little story is done in 11 seconds or whatever, and they think, oh yeah, wow, that was great, that was a great use of my time. So we'll have to see what is coming up on next Friday's show, because I don't know yet. I'm going to play y'all one thing right quick. You sit there, because we're going to do one thing right quick. I just got to find it. Where is it? I don't know if I can open it with this one, or if it's going to tell me. Okay. Here's a little sneak peek at this 80s music video that I've been talking about for a while, because that's the next thing I'm going to do in my Singing Through the Decades series. And I'm just going to randomly pick something here so that you'll get an idea. I want to do like a Name That Tune concept for this next one. I've just really been trying to figure out how to make it work. So I think I have figured out how I'm going to make it work. So y'all are going to get a little sneak peek. It's loading. I think there's like 35 music clips on this one. Okay, I'm going to pick something here. Wow, some of these are going to be tough. Let's just do the first one. All right, so listen. Oh, turn that up, make sure we can hear it. Oh. Name that tune. Oh wait, I should have turned off the music. Let me play it again. I just realized the music was still going. Let's go to the next one. If y'all heard that first one enough, you can make your guess. But let's listen to this one. Because both of these I know just from these intros. Just want to make sure they're loud enough.
Yeah.
Definitely loud enough. Okay, so we'll stick with that first one. There we go. So dancing got it. Yeah. And so that's what I want to do. So I have a bunch of 15-second clips already collected. And that's what I want to do, is play the 15 seconds and see if I know what the song is. So some of them, you know, like that song, When Doves Cry, ooh, got the next one too, Sledgehammer. Got the next one too. So some of them, if you get a little further into the intro, or if the song starts right away and there's not a big intro, those are a little easier to figure out. But I know for some of these that have the long intros, Sledgehammer I think might throw some people. I'm a big Peter Gabriel fan, and I have that CD, whatever CD Sledgehammer's on. I think that's the same CD that has Salisbury Hill and Red Rain. So, some good stuff. But these are songs that come up in a hit, 80s hits. So I'm not trying to do obscure stuff. I actually want to do stuff that was big on the radio, but I know there's going to be some of them that I won't know because I didn't really follow those bands. But that's what I'm thinking I want to do. So cross your fingers that I really can make that work. What I don't know yet is what I'll do in the video if I play an intro and I really don't know what the song is. Then do I, because I want to be careful about copyright. So I think what I might do is what I did for, I don't know if y'all saw when I did my Forgotten Favorites series, which was old television shows from like the 60s and 70s, I think. Some of those TV themes, because the way I did that one, we would listen to the TV theme, and then I would give you the behind the scenes, you know, little known facts about the show and the actors in the show. So check that out. That's a 4-part series. But I've learned enough to know that for some stuff I need to have it uploaded to YouTube long in advance before it's going to become public, so that they can let me know if there's a copyright issue. And so my workaround for some of those show intros was that I found people that had done covers of the intro song, or like an 8-bit like a Mario Brothers concept for Star Trek, the Star Trek theme or whatever, because those didn't infringe on anybody's copyright. So I think that's probably what I'll have to do. If there's something here that I don't know, then I'm going to have to find a non-copyrighted version of it to play to know what the song is. I'm sure someone that watches may know some of the songs that I don't know, but again, this is why I don't have this video ready yet, because there's still some stuff up in the air about how to make it work. But that's the concept I'm going for, is the 15-second clip, guess the song. I can either just guess the song, I know the name, or sing part of it, because I also think there's going to be a possibility that some of the songs, I may not know what the name of the song is, but I know part of the song, some of the words of the song. Dancing says, how long of a song can play in a video before YouTube flags it? Oh, it could be a half a second. It depends on the song. So there was a time when there used to be a guideline, I think, that if it was less than 15 seconds or something like that, then you didn't have to worry that it would be a copyright strike. And these, so that I just played, that Prince, well, all three of those that you heard, those are karaoke tracks. So those are, again, that's what I use when I'm recording a cover song here on the channel. And I don't get flagged for copyright because I'm doing a cover, so it's like I'm not playing the original artist or the original music. It's the karaoke track, the background track for me to sing it. And so that's what all of these are. These are all taken from karaoke tracks. So I don't think any of these are going to be a problem because there's no voices and they're just the karaoke tracks. Worst thing that could happen is that, because some of these copyright holders are super, super strict, and even if it's the karaoke track, if it's the music at all, if it's the tune of the song at all, whether it's a second long or 3 minutes long, they either want all the revenue that your video might make for having it in the video, or they want to split whatever revenue your video might make for having it in your video. So all of my cover songs, that's how it's worked. I think there's only one cover song I've ever done on the channel where the copyright holder gets any revenue. So like ad revenue that plays because our channel is monetized, all of that would go to the copyright holder. All of the other ones, I split any revenue with the copyright holder. And then there are a couple of songs that have come up in a couple of these Singing Through the Decades videos that I've done, that it's not a monetization issue or a copyright issue, but the video cannot be seen in like Russia and or Belarus. So there's a block on that artist or that song, and it's not the whole video, but because the video has a blocked artist or song in it, the video can't be seen. And it's usually just Russia, but I think Belarus has come up a time or two. Anyway, so I'll keep you posted on what's going to happen next Friday. I'll keep you posted on what's happening with my 80s decades music. Let's see. Dancing filmed in a store and the music on the radio was too loud. And he says my videos couldn't hit revenue with the side of a barn. Well, none of us will ever make much money at all with just ad revenue. I mean, you'd have to watch, 4,000 hours of just ads to really make much money. So we're nowhere near where we're ever going to be able to live off of what we're making off of YouTube. So I want it to be fun for everybody. But that's my idea for 80s. I do think there will be a cook and chat on Sunday. I just haven't settled for sure on what it is I want to make. I don't want to do sweets again because I've already told y'all I'm trying to stay away from sugar, and most sweets you cook do call for sugar. I don't think maple syrup would have worked, for example, in that cheesecake thing I just did. So it'll probably be a savory something or other. Let's see. YouTube blocks my videos from most people. They said harmful to health and safety concerns. I really wish they didn't use fancy words. Can't they just say they stink like everyone else? Yeah, sometimes it does feel like they're kind of out to get us, doesn't it? But that is it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all say thanks to Richard for actually finally coming on to the channel with me after, well, now it's been more than 4 years, but I wasn't live streaming in the beginning, so I can't really say it's been 4 years. So for sure 3 years in the making that I've been nagging him to be on a video with me. So hopefully he'll do it again. And I will see you guys on Sunday. I do have a short video coming out tomorrow, so watch for that. And you have a good weekend too. And be safe, be happy, be well. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video, whatever that happens to be.
See ya.
Bye, friends.